I remember growing up in the late 90s and early 2000s. The biggest crazes back then, at least around my school, were Digimon and Pokemon. Especially Pokemon. Intervals and lunches were spent talking about what Pokemon we had caught in the Game Boy games, the newest Mew rumour and what to do with that truck, what had happened in the show, and what cards we had bought or wanted to trade. It got to a point where the Game Boy and Pokemon cards were banned from school as we had kids stealing cards and even Game Boys. One thing that we used to talk about was how awesome it would be if we could battle or play Pokemon on the Nintendo 64 with better graphics. Sort of like the show. Little did we know that Pokemon Stadium would soon become a thing to fulfill just that. What I learnt much later down the track was that our version of Pokemon Stadium was in fact the second Pokemon Stadium game in Japan, with their first Stadium game only having 42 of the original 151 Pokemon available. The game made use of the Nintendo 64's transfer pack accessory, allowing you to plug in a copy of Pokemon Red, Blue or Yellow in, so you can use the Pokemon that you had raised on the Game Boy games in Stadium. Pokemon Stadium was also the first game with alternate colour Pokemon, and that all came down to what they were nicknamed. Unlike the main Pokemon games where you would go from place to place, catching Pokemon and fighting trainers along the way, Pokemon Stadium has you fighting other trainers at the stadium in tournaments with restricted level requirements, free play where you could fight your friends, Gym Leader Castle where you took on a gauntlet of trainers and gym leaders to prove yourself, and mini games if you wanted to try something a little different. You could even play your Pokemon game through the Game Boy Tower, which allowed you to play the games on your TV through emulation. The North American release also has a gallery feature where you can take photos of your Pokemon to be printed out, and the opening music from the North American release and the European releases were also slightly different. But, most importantly, is the game any good? Find out in The Good. The whole idea of just being able to use the team that you raised in the Game Boy games was the selling point of Pokemon Stadium for me. With the exception of the Elite Four and Champion, the ability to rebattle trainers in the first generation of Pokemon games wasn't available, and even when you rebattled the Elite Four and Champion, they never improved. These features would come into play in later generations. Having a set of trainers, gym leaders, even the Elite Four and Champion to take on with Pokemon at my level was challenging enough. To add more strategy to the game, you and your opponent pick 6 Pokemon, and from those 6, 3 to use in battle. In the Cups, the game challenges you by restricting the levels of Pokemon that you can use. If you don't meet the requirement, or if you want to challenge yourself, you can pick rental Pokemon with preset moves to take your opponents on. Alternatively, if you just want to jump right into a battle with a preset team or challenge your friends, you can do that too. After completing Gym Leader Castle and the 4 Cups, you'll be challenged by the Pokemon Mewtwo. Against Mewtwo, you have access to all 6 Pokemon that you picked to try and take it down. Once you beat Mewtwo, you unlock Round 2, which you can challenge the Cups, Gym Leader Castle and Mewtwo again with better AI and stronger Pokemon. The AI can strategize, and their Pokemon tend to reflect that with their moveset. The minigames I found were a lot of fun and had a lot of variety, from things like having Rattata run a hurdle race, Magikarp splashing, or Lickitung running around eating sushi. I could never get enough of playing the minigames when I wanted to take a break from battling Pokemon. As well as playing the different minigames individually, you can have a contest against friends or the AI to see who the best is. It's not quite to the level of potentially ending friendships like Mario Party or Monopoly, but it's enough to keep you entertained for a while. The Game Boy Tower, where you can play the Pokemon game you've inserted into your transfer pack with speed settings being unlockable, was fun, and in Professor Oak's lab you can manage your inventory, view Pokemon models and transfer Pokemon you win in the game to your cartridge. One such prize is the ability to teach Pikachu the move Surf, which in turn unlocks a minigame that you can play in Pokemon Yellow, similar to Excite Bike. The game is more than just watching your Pokemon fight in 3D, and the additional stuff really adds to the replayability factor. Since we've now looked at everything in the good, let's look at what wasn't so good in the bad. Could be just me complaining, but I found that the game seems to stack the odds against you in the AI's favour. A lot of enemy Pokemon seem to be faster than yours, hit harder and more accurately, and almost always inflict status effects with moves, especially with paralysis. I found that I've lost a battle when one of my Pokemon was paralysed for 3 turns in a row. I've been swept by a trainer who was able to hit me with one-hit KO moves 3 times in a row, and critical hits have been the bane of my existence. While I have had moments where status effects and critical hits have benefited me, I found that they tend to benefit the AI more often, especially when it comes to the round 2 matches, and especially the Prime Cup, which is part of the requirements to get Surfin Pikachu. I'd only won the cup through dumb luck because the opponent's Executor decided to blow up, causing me to win by default. Other than that, there isn't much else I have to complain about with this game, so it's time I give the opinion. Pokemon Stadium I found was a pretty fun game to play and really encourages you to raise your team in the Game Boy games to the absolute best that they can be. It could be me wearing nostalgia goggles, but there's a charm to looking at the animations in Stadium even compared to newer games in the series. And the rewards for beating the cups and even little things like having Pikachu's voice actress voice the Pikachu from Pokemon Yellow in the game was nice.
Battle is on! The champions of tomorrow have begun their super hot battle!
And I have a laugh when the announcer gets the name of certain Pokemon wrong.
Oh, it's Ponyta!
The minigames were fun to play, whether it was against AI or with friends, and serving Pikachu was a good reward as well. I felt that the game does stack the odds against you at times, but it's a very satisfying feeling when you beat them. Nowadays with newer games, Pokemon Stadium is pretty outdated, but if you want to go the extra mile with your Generation 1 Pokemon games and you've still got the original cartridges, a Nintendo 64 with Pokemon Stadium, and a transfer pack, then it's definitely worth playing. So with that, it's time for my rating. I would give Pokemon Stadium the Surfing Pikachu sprite from Pokemon Yellow out of 10. Sorry folks, no Pharaoh this time. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next Infinite Backlog review. If you enjoyed today's review, feel free to check out some of our other videos and subscribe for more. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram and our Facebook page. Once again, thank you for watching.